Hey, and welcome to All Things Social Security. My name is Stephanie Joy of Joy Disability, and you're about to see a piece of what goes on with our Wednesday live Q&A session. It's a live stream on this channel every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It gives you an opportunity to ask questions and have them addressed on the spot on a first come, first served basis. Otherwise, I also want to welcome you to the channel generally. We have our 12 noon newer time frame, that is, shares of video tips and goings on that occur in the midst of any workday on Social Security and SSI matters, as well as beneficiary matters and other things that go on in our workday that we feel often helps claimants who are pro se and or have a representative, but it's just some information they want to get a better grasp on. So we share them here every day, and I welcome you to join us every day at noon. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, Kelly says back pay and when family's been supporting you. Yeah. And I can get that. Like, you really want to pay back family. They're the ones that stuck by you. You know, put a roof over your head or paid that mortgage when you couldn't for like 18 months or something. For sure. It's very crushing. And it's so sad because you get the joy of prevailing and the thing is over. And you're so glad to get your monthlies. However, you still have that big burden of that debt, which again, guys, debt to family, which often they forgive, is not the same as debt to a profit generating entity like a credit card company. And I just want people to think about that, because when you have Social Security, if you don't have other assets that are garnishable, sometimes you got to pick and choose which bills you're going to pay, like you would do anyway. If the money you have doesn't cover them all, and I'm not pushing consolidation or bankruptcy or anything like that, but I'll tell you something. Sometimes I will say bankruptcy can be a freeing thing, and I don't practice bankruptcy, but I've seen many people, many people get such a blessing out of it because it is a total fresh start. And of course, everyone's situation is different. If you have a house that you want to keep, you have to use certain avenues. You want a really, really good bankruptcy attorney. But it is something to think about if you're heading into SSD and you have a significant amount of debt that you don't think you're going to be able to pay, and it's just going to become a snowball, continued nightmare. It's going to ruin your peace of mind. Bankruptcy actually cuts that off. No more ruined peace of mind. It can be really, really amazing, and that's why it's there. And people say, oh, but that's humiliating and that means I'm a failure. Businesses do it all the time. It is a business decision, and you are the leader, the head, the CEO of your body and your resources, of everything you have. Your human resources, which is your body and your ability to make money, your capital, your ability to earn interest. You are the CEO, and or if you have a spouse, usually, hopefully it's joint. But those are business decisions, and I don't think anyone should feel humiliated. I mean, it's one thing if you do it and then you continue to screw up, then you got a problem. But a lot of times, the need for a bankruptcy or the overage of debt is due to things outside of one's control. Disability, medical bills, having to borrow, having to use those credit cards because I can't work. And I'm hanging by the skin of my teeth to stay alive and save my house while I'm waiting for Social Security disability. So something to think about if it's up your alley and something you'd rather do rather than have unending debt and not be able to pay your family back because you're paying that commercial creditor who, for some reason, you put ahead of the others. I don't know why. They don't put you ahead, let's face it. And they charge those really high interest rates because of this risk that they take. All right, enough said. That was very off topic.
Hey, so if the subject matter of the video you just listened to is of interest and you want more on it, stay tuned. Here's another one about the same topic, but a little bit different. Bye now. Hey guys, I'm having a little downtime here with Charlie. Charlie hasn't been here in a while, so I wanted to bring him out at the request of somebody out there. So this is Charlie, for those who haven't met him. He's being pretty nice today, although he's been out a little while now with me, and he's getting a little spunky. I like him when he's kind of demure, so he can be a real wise guy. Okay, so the question someone asked was, have you ever seen the Social Security Administration collect on an overpayment from future Social Security disability insurance benefits? And I'm going to say, yeah, for sure. In fact, I bet you that's the majority of the way. And I'm speculating there, but this is my educated guess. And the reason being, when we have an overpayment, when we received it, I think it's less likely that we put it into, don't get my jewelry, we put it into savings for a rainy day. I think usually people are kind of strapped and they're using it for bills. Uh-oh. Shit. Oops, sorry. So please stop. Crazy. So using it for bills and it's not saved. So when you get the letter about the overpayment, you don't have, X thousands of dollars sitting in the bank just waiting to be spent on that. It's usually long since gone, right? So I think most of the time it's a payment plan. And if you happen to have benefits that are coming next month, they're going to, if you don't get a waiver, which is what you can do if it's going to be a hardship, you can try to get a waiver. But if you can't, you're going to want to be on a payment plan. And they're going to generally, if you're getting Social Security, just automatically just take it off the top each month. You don't have to see it. You'll get used to it. It's a little less painful than cutting a check. On the other hand, if you have an overpayment and you do not have current incoming Social Security benefits, whether it's disability or retirement or any other, then you're going to have to cut the checks yourself or however they do it. I don't know, probably cash bank withdrawal or EFT or whatever they call those things. And again, it would be the payment plan. So because if you cannot pay it out all at once, they understand it's going to have to be in a payment plan. And you can try to negotiate as low of a payment plan as you can. Behave, please, Charlie. So yeah. Now you could be paying out of pocket because you're not currently getting benefits. It could be you have it done right through your paycheck if you're working. Now, then you go and retire 20 years later. Can they take it out of that? Or you become disabled again, if that was what you were before. Can they take it out of that? Yes, yes, and yes. And I think that's definitely what they're going to do. And again, with a payment plan. Now, if you're making less on retirement than you are right now when you're working and you're paying a certain amount through your paycheck, don't fly. I think you could probably negotiate a different payment plan if your income and your situation has changed. The lower your income, the lower your payment plan is going to be expected to be. So there is that. But absolutely, they're going to take it out of your Social Security benefits. And that is not the only thing they'll take out. So, that's one debt you have to the federal government when it's an overpayment. There are other kinds, and I'm not going to know all of them, I don't think. But for instance, school loan debt would be potentially a federal debt. You could have other federal debts from other things. IRS, you could have a tax debt. That's ultimately probably going to come out of Social Security, right? Once you start getting it. Things that are not federal, but are protected in this arena, unlike other commercial debts you might have, which are not going to be garnished. Alimony, child support arrears. There are special terms in the federal laws that allow for that. And it's probably to assist states in getting arrearages and alimony and child support accommodated somewhat, because here's a guaranteed source of income. So yeah, I mean, all those things could be factors that go into a reduction. God, is he going to land on my head? Yeah, I know he's showing off right now because sometimes he does have to have his feathers clipped, as you can imagine. My hair is now a mess. When isn't it? But there's all sorts of things that they can collect later. But again, I think they are very, very in tune to not making people be put out on the street. So when you need a payment plan, you have to really go and show why. And it can't be because you want to pay a big credit card before you pay, the Social Security fund that you were overpaid from. Your credit card debt is not going to be, oh my God, they do not want to see your tail. Come here. All right, guys, I got to go put him back in his little condo. I will chat with you later. If you have any questions on what we were just talking about, feel free. Bye.